Yeah, let's just say JP's doing some extra research for you guys every single every single week, bringing you guys the best insight
Every
knowledge. I
single
mean,
week.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP. And in today's episode, we will be going over every single fight for UFC Fight Night, Michel Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez. But before we do, we just want to give a quick shout out to all of you as our current viewers, our current subscribers, and those of you, even if you aren't subscribed, we appreciate you guys for being here, being a part of the community. But if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free to do. It helps us out. We're on the road to 100. We're not quite there yet as we are filming this video, but you guys can help us get there. That would honestly make JP and I really happy. We would really appreciate that. In this video today, we will be breaking down the fights for UFC Vegas 99. Back at the Apex Center, we got the small cage, JP's favorite. So he's going to be excited. You already know that. JP, how you feeling, man? Another fun weekend coming off our great card last weekend.
Huge card last weekend. 11-1. Weekend before that was it 8-4 or something like that. So, hey, we had a bad week there. Everybody slips and falls, but we're right back at it. We're in the money, baby. Okay, we're only getting better, and we're using these other fights that we lose. Teach us a little bit, you know. Don't get mad from the loss, even though if you watch the videos, we were upset about some of them. But yeah, man, I'm excited.
We have
Not excited
emotions
for
too.
football.
We have a lot of emotions. JP, he's all pissed off because the Raiders, but that's all right.
Yeah, we're not getting into that. We're getting into happiness because we're hitting bets. Not even gonna say that.
We'll
All right,
bet.
let's jump straight into the card.
Let's do, but before we do, we didn't even talk about it in the recap video, dude. Last weekend we hit the juicer without
Oh
Al
yeah,
Hassan. We hit the juicer without Al Hassan. We hit the basic and we hit the lock. So all three of our parlays that we give to you guys every single week at the end of the videos hit last weekend. You would have been majorly in the money if you would have hit those or put the bag on those, put the mortgage on the juicer. Oh my
throw the
God,
mortgage on it. I mean, what else do we need to say? Plus a 17,000. Come on, bro.
Well, that was my parlay. I didn't quite give that one to you guys on film, but you guys know I'm dialed in every single week.
That's funny.
So we'll have to deliver a plus 17,000 parlay here to the viewers at some point.
Hey,
All
you
right, let's
subscribe,
dive into this card.
you could get it. Never know. Go ahead. Lead us off.
All right, let's go. First fight, we got the big boys in the house in the small octagon. I'm not sure how it's going to support the weight of these two monsters. Robelis Despaigne versus Austin Lane. I did mispronounce Despaine's last name before we started filming, so that's why JP's laughing. I'm not good with the names, and honestly, on this card, guys, there's a lot of interesting names, so bear with your boy. I barely passed English class.
That's why I wanted you to go first. See how you said it. But yeah, Austin Lane, former football player, big guy. What is he, 6'6" or something like that? Hasn't had great luck in the UFC. He is in the heavyweight division. People hit like Mack trucks in this division. He's got 5 losses by KO in his career, and I believe 4 of them are in the UFC. 3 of them, something like that. Oh, just 2. But he did lose to Justin Tafa. Got knocked out. Justin's the better of the Tafa brothers, I would say. I don't know if you agree with that.
Define better. Yeah, he's better than Junior. Junior's a bum. You can find me, little Junior. Justin's okay, but they're both ass. I would fight
Robelis
both of them at the
Despaigne.
same time.
Oh God, hell no! They just lay on you. Yeah, Robelis Despaigne had a lot of hype. His first fight in the UFC, knocked the guy out, so the hype followed him. Second fight, he fought. Where's Waldo? Waldo Acosta something, Junior maybe. I don't know.
Senior.
Senior, junior, who cares? Waldo Acosta is a kickboxer and a striker, and he exposed Despaigne by grappling him and laying on him. And Despaigne has got a touch of the Tafa. Whoa, didn't say it. Said touch of the Tafa, okay?
I like that one.
Can't get off his back. No get up game whatsoever. It's how to beat him. Because if you stand up with him, he's going to knock you the fuck out. Just lay on him. Is Austin Lane going to do that? Nope. Austin Lane runs forward with his chin in the air, slanging and banging. I don't think Robelis gets wrestle fucked. And if we're going to stay on the feet, Austin Lane's getting clipped. He's getting knocked out. Robelis is Spain by KO.
Do you think there's a potential that Lane could take him down? I mean, and the
For
only
the
reason I say
football
this,
tackling?
yeah, and the only reason I say this is Austin Lane did take down Yoinata Diniz,
Yeah. Honata
right?
Denise. Yeah.
Hanata Diniz, who's very, very similar to Despain in his skill set. Like they're both
Yeah.
kickboxers. And like that was impressive. It went to round 2 and no one thought it would make it out of the first round. I just worry about Despain's gas tank. I really do. I mean, all of his wins, they're flashy and they all come in the first round. The first time that he made it out of the first round was like what JP was telling you guys about against Waldo Costa, gases, and he has no answer to getting taken down. Listen, I'm also on the Robelis side. I think he lands the KO strike because he's a very powerful dude. And Austin Lane's not really good at defending himself, honestly. He eats a lot of big punches. But there's a sliver of a chance that Austin Lane could just land some takedowns. And then this fight looks completely different.
He could. But because I was like, it's like the football, like he's willing to sprint at you and just football tackle you, rugby tackle you, because he was a DN in the NFL, so he could. But Despain didn't get finished by Waldo, and he got taken down. Do I think Austin Lane's going to be able to take him down and have high enough grappling to keep him there and beat him up the whole fight? No.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I'm also rocking with Robelis. I'm rocking with Robelis by KO as well. Um, I don't think it makes it out of the first round, and if it does, all of a sudden my thoughts kind of change a little bit. So, I mean, look for Robelis to land early and often and heavy on Austin Lee.
Yeah, probably won't get great lines, but that's whatever. Anyways, moving up, we have 3 women's fights in a row. We say, okay, hey, maybe not bad. Maybe some high caliber women's fighting. Nope. Not a single girl on here is high caliber. The first of the threesome is Alice Ardelean and Melissa Martinez.
I mean, we don't know a ton about either woman, to be honest, or at least I don't. Ardelean coming off a split decision loss against our girl Shauna Bannon, the next Irish wonder of the world, but Shauna Bannon's kind of got fraud checked in that one. Uh, only going to split decision. I mean, she's got decent wrestling. That could be a factor in this fight. I don't think Melissa Martinez is going to look to wrestle at all. She has no submission wins, but she's 0-1 in the UFC. So, I mean, kind of two girls that are new to the game. I think JP knows more about some of these fighters outside of the UFC than what they've provided inside the UFC. You can ask JP about that. I'm just gonna go with what I've seen. I've seen Ardelean fight a decent fight against Shauna Bannon, implement a decent ground game, and have a pretty good gas tank. I'll take a shot here and go Ali's Ardelean.
Yeah, so Ardelean's the dog actually in this one. And I saw that and I was like, you know what? I'm going Ardelean because one, the fight with Bannon, she did almost fraud check Bannon. She's got a little bit of grappling pressure. Bannon's just good enough to keep her away, jab with kicks and shit like that. Melissa Martinez, and we'll get more into this in the next fight, lost to Elise Reed. Elise Reed's dog shit. You know how we say people lose to Martin Boudet? And we go, well, that's enough for me. Yeah, she lost to Elise Reed. See ya. Enough for me. Not picking you. I'm good. I don't think Melissa Martinez can do anything. I don't think her striking's good enough to absolutely dismantle Alice on the feet. And when they go to grapple, I think Alice is going to be stronger, better. Normally, I'd say fade these OnlyFans chicks, but I'm not picking Melissa Martinez in this fight, so I guess we're back in the OnlyFans, okay? Yeah, give me Alice Ardelean.
Yeah, let's just say JP's doing some extra research for you guys every single every single week, bringing you guys the best insight
Every
knowledge. I
single
mean,
week.
where does she where does she get all this strength from, JP? I mean,
Who
yeah,
knows? Hey, can't comment or speculate, you know? Who knows?
fair enough. All right, moving us up. The next women's fight in this little women's threesome that we got going on. Jessica Penne versus Elise Reed, JP's favorite female fighter, apparently.
Terrible. I'm not even going to waste words. Elise Reed's trash. Terrible dog shit. Get her out of the UFC. She's cheeks. Can't do anything well. Got no grapple game, which is the way to beat Jessica Penne. Jessica Penne's not a world killer in herself either. And she's 41. So you guys are saying, oh my God, you always say fade the 40s. Yes, I do. I'm not
Always.
picking Elise Reed. Always. Every time. Every time I do, I'm not picking Elise Reed. Not doing it. And I could be wrong. She could beat her ass. Don't care. Could care less. Elise Reed's not fighting for a title. Not going anywhere. And Penne's also the dog. Give me the second dog of the night. Jessica Penne.
Yeah. Another loss that we see on Elise Reed's record is Sam Hughes. Never have been impressed by Sam Hughes. And then she went to split decision against the 12-year-old of last week, Corey McKenna. So that does bring me a lot of worry myself. Hey, I think I'm also going to take the 41-year-old. Give me Jessica Penne. Now, do either one of these two have accounts outside of the UFC, JP?
Don't believe so. If they did, wouldn't tune in. Okay? That's some research. I'll leave the book closed on that one, pal.
Fair enough. Let's move up the card. The final women's fight on this entire card, the third one in a row. Jocelyn Edwards versus Tamiris Vidal.
Um, we saw Jocelyn. Did we see Jocelyn fight Eileen? Was that who she was fighting? I think it was. Because we broke Jocelyn down one time before. I think it was Eileen Perez. Yeah, Jocelyn Edwards.
I don't think we did. The channel wasn't around.
Oh, it might have been right before we started the channel because I know we did start in June.
It was in
So
June. Yep. June 1st.
June 1st. So yeah, Jocelyn Edwards. She's got a decent stand up. She's a bigger girl. So she's normally got a bigger reach. But again, she's not impressive anywhere. She hasn't really beat anybody in the UFC that makes me like, oh, okay. Like with girls MMA, women's MMA, the distinction between who's elite and who's not is very easy to see right off the bat, just how they strike. Some of these girls are just throwing punches at air. Us. You're not. You're wasting energy. But she just doesn't have a good win. She loses to Carol Rosa, Jessica Rose Clark. I mean, Nora Cornell. We just saw Nora fight. Nora's decent, but I don't think you're jumping at the opportunity to say, oh, Nora Cornell is one of the better fighters in that division.
Plus, it was another loss. If she
Yeah,
got a
that
win
was a
over
loss.
Cornell, it would be a little bit more impressive, right?
Exactly. And she took an L, so it's just like, she's mediocre. And I don't really want to pick her. Tamiris Vidal, she's wild as fuck in the striking, and I hate that. You guys have heard me say it so many times. I don't like how wild they are. I like to be more calculated on the feet. Straight punches, in and out. But in this fight, is Jocelyn Edwards going to be technical enough to get through the weeds of the wildness and land her shots and then get out? I don't think so. I think we're going long. And give me the girl who throws with a harder conviction, more power. But she's not great either. She is also a dog, which helped me make this decision. I'm just going with all three dogs in these women's fights. So give me Tamira's Vidal.
Yeah, can't say I disagree with you. I like her power in this one. She is explosive. She had that beautiful flying knee, I think, 2 fights ago. She'll always look for the finish. And I think in these women's fights, maybe Wild is good. Maybe Wild is good. She's going to push the pace. And a lot of these women, they don't necessarily get their head off the center line. And I think if you do throw something crazy, it's a lot more likely to land than maybe some of these guys well, at the top end of their division. So I like Vidal in this one. I think she has more promise and more ways to get this fight finished. Whereas Jocelyn Edwards most likely is going to have to depend on a decision, just being the more calculated technical striker. Don't always love that. She will have a little bit of a reach advantage and a little bit of a height advantage, but Vidal's shown in the past that hasn't really mattered. She's taken down bigger girls. So I'm also taking the Brazilian Tamires Vidal, the underdog.
Oh yeah, three dog parlay. I know we're saying they're dogs and stuff. If you guys bet on any three of these fights, I don't know, man. I wouldn't personally, even though they're dogs. But the only thing
He
I would
will,
bet
though.
on, well, the only thing I would bet on is that this is going to take up 45 minutes of our time. Yeah, all three of them are going distance. If you want to over parlay, mink, 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 all three of them. Okay.
It's good math, man. It's great math.
Hey, I deliver bread for a living. I do math at 3 a.m. every day. Okay. Next one. Moving up. Revan's favorite fighter ever. Okay. This dude's highly skilled, highly talented, highly sought after, nicest guy in the world. Brad Katona is
Yeah,
going up against Gene Matsumoto.
let's hear a round of applause for Brad Katona. Sorry for jumping in there too early, JP. Brad, the Superman Katona. He's the Canadian Irishman. I've never heard that before. I mean, this guy's from Canada, but all of a sudden he's training in Ireland. He's the next McGregor. If you listen to him talk, Brad Katona is the man. Well, he's also one of these guys that has been in the UFC before, gets cut, comes back through the Ultimate Fighter on Connor's season. Did okay, dude. He did okay. Gets another shot. Good for him. Gene Matsumoto, his opponent, 15 and 0. Definitely going to be an interesting one to watch. Brad Katona is going to want to push forward, look to get in the clinch, press him up against the cage. Matsumoto, he's an interesting guy. He's kind of like Poirier. He is going to shoot guillotine. I've noticed that a lot with Matsumoto watching his tape. Um, Katona's never been subbed, so that worries me. I do think Katona's skilled enough to stay safe, and that may give Katona some top position. He might steal a round or two. It will get dicey if it goes to decision, but I do think Gene Matsumoto has enough to get Brad Katona out of there and get the win on Saturday. I'm taking Gene Matsumoto.
Yeah. You know what I think's gonna happen this weekend? I think Brad Katona's gonna lose, get cut, in 2 more years, show up on the Ultimate Fighter again and win it. Woo! Who fucking cares? Brad Katona's ass. Brad Katona sucks. Sure, he's a nice guy. He's a Canadian. All of them are nice. Nice guys. All right, pal? He sucks. Gene Matsumoto choked out Dan Argueta. We just saw Dan Argueta fight last weekend. Look like shit, but again, that's a guy that's going to constantly pressure you and try and take you down. It can be exhausting to defend. He did defend, and then he choked him out. Brad Katona, that's all he's going to do because dude is decision galore. Brad Katona's not looking to finish fights. At least Gene Matsumoto can. I think his O stays. I don't think Katona's taking it. Is it biased? Sure, don't care. Give me Matsumoto.
Yeah, I mean, this one's a little dangerous, guys, to be honest with you. Matsumoto, he is prone to being taken down as well late in the fights. That was something that showed up on film as well. I'd just be a little bit careful with this one because Brad Katona is going to be the big underdog. You're not going to getting a great line on Matsumoto, who's still fairly unproven, getting a guillotine win against a guy that shot 24 takedowns in his last fight. Yeah, it's good and all, but it's not necessarily impressive. I'd be interested to see how he fights in this one because this will be a real test, unlike Argueta. So, I mean, this one's a little dangerous. I will say that.
I will tell you guys though. back to the topic of the over under parlay. A nasty little parlay might be under in the Despaigne fight, and then I mean all three girl fights and this fight all to go over. That might be a nasty little parlay. You could throw a couple units on. Something to think about. Okay, no gotta do. Something to think about. Um, moving up. This one I'm excited for. But then again, if we don't have a lot of action, we got a lot of decision fights. Might put people to bed too. This one might be a snooze fest. Mateus Nicolau and Alsu Almabayev.
Yeah, this one's going to shape up to be a really good fight in this flyweight division. Both guys moving their way up the rankings. Nicolau's going to look to strike, has decent power in his hands. He's an okay grappler, but not the best wrestler. Asiu's going to look to wrestle. He's very good at controlling the action, especially when he has you on the ground. I mean, he's from Kazakhstan, right? Is that how it's pronounced? Kazakhstan. Those guys, they wrestle, man. They wrestle. They're really good with control. He has 9 wins by submission in his career. He's 3-0 in the UFC. I don't think it stops on Saturday. Move him up the division even more. Give me Ass University, Asu Almabayev.
Um, yeah, man. Nicolau, he has 4 losses by KO in his career, and 3 of them have come in the UFC. So when he loses in the UFC, he gets knocked the fuck out. Um, but he's decent, like you were saying. You made that point about he's a good grappler, but not necessarily the best wrestler. I do agree with that. And Almabayev, I mean, we tell you guys all the time. Brevin told us to go back to class last weekend. OVEV, they're going to put the fucking grappling pressure on you, and they are not going to stop unless you put them out. So, and Almabayev, I mean, he wrestles so much, sometimes he puts himself in a terrible position trying to wrestle more. Like, he's like Marab, to where he's a short, little, stocky guy with stupid amount of cardio, and is just going to constantly crotch sniff all fight. And if you're not prepared for it, it'll gas you out quick. He'll just get a bunch of control time, short little punches on top. So, yeah, in that fashion, I think he's good enough. And again, we're in the small cage. When you have a high-level grappler like this, so hard. You have to knock him out. I don't think Nicolau's going to. So, yeah, give me Almabayev as well.
Love it. Love it. I mean, I like your call out about the small cage, right? For these pressure guys, these pressure wrestlers, that's an advantage. You're quickly backed up against the fence, and they want to get you to the fence, shoot that
Yeah.
double, take you down, run the pipe. Um, yeah, I think this one's teed up for Almabayev. We should actually do a check-in to see who has more wins between the EVs and the OVs. I think that would be very interesting to see. Count them up and see who's winning in that regard. Next fight, listen, last weekend we had Tafa and Sharaf as our poop bowl of the night. This one, I'm going to throw in that category outside of maybe one of the women's fights, but we'll leave them out of it. I mean, they get a pass. We got a 40-year-old versus a 39-year-old, both of them definitely out of their prime on the very tail end of their careers. Maybe they'll fight Cowboy because he's coming back apparently for 2 fights. They should throw him in against some of these guys right here. Darren Elkins versus Daniel Pineda.
Um, yeah, man. This one is also like, who fucking cares, dude? Daniel Pineda. Daniel Pineda. He can't win a decision to save his life. Daniel
No.
Pineda has been to 7 decisions in his career, and he has lost all of them. So he's got to end the fight or nothing. Most of the
JP,
time,
based on our luck as of late, I mean, are we really gonna take the guy that's never won a decision? Like, would be
yeah, that's a good point. Like, why? Yeah, exactly. So that just kind of gives it away right there. Darren Elkins. I mean, he's at least won decisions. He's won 13 of them. So, um, but yeah, I mean, he's lost to Jonathan Pierce recently, which, if you watch the God, why am I forgetting his name? Who did he fight this past weekend that choked him out? Sabatini.
Sabatini,
Sabatini.
Pat Sabatini, my guy, the backpack. Love that
Brevin's
guy.
guy. First name basis with Brevin.
What's up, Pat?
Yeah, he
Oh,
just.
what's up, Pat McAfee?
Oh, what's up, McAfee? Fucking Owen. Shout out Owen, bro. Um, yeah, Darren Elkins, he's kind of the same way. Like you said, two old dogs that are going in there to fight. And Pineada wants to pressure grapple and wrestle, but Elkins can do the same thing. These are both guys who want to just go to fucking war and just throw down in the middle of the octagon. I don't know, man. I guess I'm gonna take Elkins over Pineada. I just don't like Pineada. I think Elkins' stand up is a little bit better and he mixes it up a little better, but I said don't vote. Don't vote on the women's fights. Nobody clipped that. We're not saying don't vote.
Don't
Um,
vote.
don't bet on the women's fights. But I'm definitely not betting on this one. I'm good, but for the sake of the show and picks, I'm gonna go with Elkins.
JP, you're yapping, man. You're yapping, spending way too much time on this shit fight. These two old men are terrible. Me personally, I think Pineda's dog water. Okay, he's done nothing inside of the UFC. And you may look at his Tapology report and say, oh, wow, 19 submissions. This guy must be the next Charles Oliveira. Hold your horses, pal. All right, Darren Elkins fought the much better competition inside of the UFC. I think he's still got some juice. I mean, they don't call him the damage for no reason. Give me Darren Elkins.
I'm pretty sure, actually, now that you say that, yes. Now that you say that, I did forget about that. Thank you for reminding me of this point. Darren Elkins has only lost by sub once.
To
Charles Oliveira.
Mr. Oliveira.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah. Do we think Pineda's going to do that? Nope. Not one fucking bit. Don't even think he's anywhere close to good old
Yeah,
Charlie Olives.
and I know we spent a shit ton of time on this terrible fight, but at the same time, if you look at the guys that Elkins has lost to, I mean, they're good opponents. You see Alexander Volkanovski, right? We
Mm-hmm.
see Cub Swanson back in the day, back when Cub was putting people away. Jonathan Pierce, we recently saw him fight. I mean, these are top level guys. Charles Oliveira, Jeremy Stevens back in the day. I mean, that was 2014 prime Jeremy Stevens, man. Like they're
Jeremy
no
Stevens hits hard, too.
they're, they're not any bums out here. So I think Elkins, he's fought much better competition. I think he gets it done.
Yes, sir. Good pick. Have we picked against each other yet?
No.
You guys know when we don't pick against each other, we normally hit pretty big. So we'll have to see. Moving up the card, the next fight we got is Brady Hiestand versus Jake Hadley.
We got Bam Bam versus the White Kong. I mean, the battle of the nicknames in this one. You guys know that Jake Hadley, my boy, came through in the last fight, defeating that Irish guy that everybody was high on. What was his name? Lochran? Give me a break.
Yeah,
The White Kong
Calvin
got it
Lochran.
done. Yeah, JP was high on that guy. He said, oh no, I hate Hadley, blah, blah, blah. Hey, look where it got you. An L in that column, buddy.
Blah blah blah.
In this one, though, I think Brady Highstand's much better than Jake Hadley. I mean, they're up in division as well. Highstand's going to be the much bigger guy. I think it's going to be difficult for Hadley to defend the takedowns that he did against Lochran. I think Highstand lands those takedowns, and I think it's a completely different fight. Give me Brady Highstand.
Yeah. Yeah, I sat up here talking about how I don't like Hadley and all this. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Okay? Don't like Hadley. I think he's okay. He used to fight at the weight class below this, and now he's up at this weight class because he likes the weight cut better. It's easier for him. But yeah, I agree with your point of Hiestan's going to be bigger. Hiestan's going to be trying to take him down. Hadley's good off his back. He's got good submissions off his back, but unless you're Charles Oliveira and you show me you can do that, fight in and fight out, I don't like it. because being on your back for that long, if you don't get it, you're just gonna get beat up eventually. So, yeah, don't like it. I am also gonna back you again and go Brady Hiestand.
Love it. You want to announce this next one, brother? I know you're part Chinese.
No, I'd love to hear you say it. I try to spread help about my culture and help people pronounce stuff. And go ahead.
In this next fight, we have Charles Johnson, the Inner G, versus Sumudaerji.
Yeah, it's not bad. It wasn't bad. Sumudaerji, not bad.
See, why aren't you pronouncing these fighters, man?
I don't even. I could be wrong, bro. I could be wrong. I don't know. But good old Charles, the hair patch Johnson. Gross. Hate it. Oh my god. Just fucking shave it off. I don't know why he does that. Yeah, Charles Johnson, Joshua Van. Last time we broke down Charles Johnson, Brevin was on Van. I was on Johnson. Close fight, but Charles outlasted him. Bodywork proved to be effective and got him out of there. I do like Charles, man. Charles is a crafty vet. I like his stand up. He can hit you from anywhere. He's not a slouch on the ground. He's got some ground game. He's got some subs, which in this fight, Sumudaerji doesn't, and that's the way to beat him, and it's been shown. Sumudaerji's got some power, though, but either way, I think Johnson's faster. I think he cuts angles better. I think he mixes up the striking better, and the fact that he has in the back pocket the ability to grapple and choke him out if he needs to, because Sumudaerji is not anything special on the ground. I'm going Charles Johnson again, man. Give me Charles. What's his line right now? Minus 220,
Minus,
so
yeah.
not terrible, but not great. But yeah, give me Charles Johnson.
Yeah, this one is intriguing to me because of the fact that Sumudaerji hasn't fought in quite some time throughout his entire career. His last fight was December of last year. The fight before that, 2022. The fight before that, 2021. This dude fights like one time every single year, and we get a different result every single time. Like JP said, his biggest weakness is these submissions, man. He cannot defend himself. His ground game, I think JP took it easy on this guy. I think JP took it real easy. This guy's ground game is nada. It is not there. Charles Johnson, if he wanted to, could go in there and submit him probably within the first minute um, after one takedown. It is garbage. Now he's had a lot of time off. Maybe he comes back in this fight and shows us a different aspect of his game. A lot of people are saying, I prefer Charles Johnson in all phases of the fight. I actually disagree. I think Sumar Darje's got the better striking. Honestly, he's a great striker. He's a powerful striker, and that gets slept on. He's very quick, very sharp. That gets slept on a lot. He can be dangerous, but I do believe that Charles Johnson has a very easy path to victory in taking him down, getting him up against the fence, and then ultimately finding a submission. Charles Johnson's going to be my pick. I don't think there's any question about that.
Um,
Go
Funny
ahead.
that you brought up the point about Sumudaerji not fighting. I just looked at Charles. This dude in 2022 he fought 3 times. 2023 he fought 4 times, and now this is about to be his 4th fight in 2024.
Yeah, he's one of the most active fighters in the UFC right now.
Yeah, so I agree with you on that fact. When we're fighting that often, especially
He's
if it's going to be a
fresh,
stand-up fight, yeah,
not going to be rusty. Yeah, Charles Johnson is going to be my pick.
yep, great pick there. Moving up to the co-main, one I'm excited for. Kyler Phillips, Rob Font.
Yeah, this one's fun. Phillips is an up and coming prospect. He's 29 years old, has done a lot of great things so far in his UFC career. He is 6-1 right now in the UFC, and he's on a 3 fight win streak. He's very, very skilled, and I definitely think that he's going to be someone that's fighting some of these top guys in the division. In this matchup, he's going up against Rob Font, who is going to stand there and box. Rob Font is a good boxer, especially as of late. He's older now. And I think that these older guys kind of just sit there and they want to strike. They don't necessarily want to get into the grappling exchanges. They don't want to work the submissions. It takes too much work, takes up too much cardio. I don't think they have it in them. I think Kyler Phillips gets this one done. He has a lot more ways to win, in my opinion, other than just stand there and box. Rob Font's on a two-fight losing streak, and his last win isn't impressive to me at all. So give me Kyler Phillips.
Yeah, man. Kyler Phillips just got uh through Pedro Munoz, which like feel the way you want about Pedro Munoz, but they give Pedro Munoz to every up and comer in this division, and how they do off of that, I think tells you a lot about the trajectory of their career. Because Pedro's kind of tricky. Pedro's got decent stand up. He's decent everywhere. Rob Font, like Brevin said, dude's got a phenomenal jab. Kind of about it, you know. Like if we're gonna sit here and think that you're gonna beat Kyler Phillips with your jab all night, come on, brother. Kyler Phillips cuts angles great. He can hit you from anywhere. Mixes up the striking. I know I say the same shit when I like somebody striking, but that's because they're good at those things and they can hit people and not get hit. That's the whole fucking point, is how you're cutting angles using all 8 points of contact to hit somebody. We're not just using our hands. We're not just using kicks. We're using elbows. We're throwing knees. We're mixing it up. In and out. We're doing calf kicks if the motherfucker's going to stand in front of me in a boxing stance, heavy on his front leg. Okay,
And
you're either going to
that's
move
what
that
Rob
leg.
Font does.
Yeah, exactly. You're either going to move that leg or I'm going to beat the shit out of it so you can't move. It blows my mind when fighters don't take that. Like, if you're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it. It's like a quarterback that's trying to throw a 40-yard bomb every play. Just take what they're giving you. Let's work these dink and dunks, and then at the end of the game, now we're finally breaking them down. We're beating them. We're running the play action. Like, I just think Kyler, like you said, on the feet, way better. Rob Font's not going to take him down and wrestle him. Never been his game plan. Never will be. Give me Kyler Phillips.
Yeah, love that. The second coming of Jesus Christ. I mean, hey, that's what they depict Jesus to look like. Kyler Phillips is that. And he fights like it, man.
I like his sunglasses he wears at the weigh-ins too.
He's a beast. You gotta love him. All right, that does take us to the main event of the evening. Michel Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez.
I'm excited to see who you pick in this one.
I'm
Okay.
excited to see who you pick.
We talked about a couple things before we started filming, but not this
Not this.
one. Michel Pereira. If you haven't seen him fight, I highly suggest watching this or going to watch his film. Crazy entertaining every time he fights. Might question his decision making a little bit, but crazy entertaining every time he fights. Anthony Hernandez, Mr. Fluffy himself. This dude is going to be on you like white on rice, and he's a tough Mexican. If you don't know what I mean by that, I don't know how, because some of these Mexican guys, you can hit them with the fucking kitchen sink, and this dude eats it and stares right back at you and then shoots for another takedown. These guys are tough. Anthony Hernandez will put the pressure on you, will beat you up, will take your back, will choke you. He will drown you on the ground if you are not careful. I like both guys. I think both guys have a path to be top tier in this division. Personally, I'm just a fan of Michel Pereira, man. His striking, very unorthodox, powerful. He's got grappling. He's got submissions. He's been getting these dudes out of there. I think in this weight class, he has that unspoken thing. Certain guys in certain weight classes just have that unspoken thing when they hit people, wobbly, shaking. People don't like it, and I think he has it. He was young when he came into the UFC, missed weight a couple times. Now he's up at, is this 170 or is this 185? This is 185, right? Yeah, 185.
Yes.
So he was trying to make 170 and he couldn't. I've heard this dude in real life, when you get up close to him and see him, he's way bigger than everybody thinks. So I kind of understand why he can't make 170 now, but I like Michel Pereira, man, and he's a slight underdog for this. I think it's because we're in the small cage and Fluffy's going to grapple him. I know I've been saying that all night. I'm taking Michelle Pereira at dog money, bro. I think Michelle Pereira's going to do it. He might knock Fluffy out, have him wobbled. He's wild. I think he's explosive enough on the cage to get out. Give me Michelle Pereira to take the main event.
Very interesting there. Another dog that's back to back main event dogs for JP.
Yes, it is.
So far, you're 1-0. Let's see how this one turns out. Yeah, JP kind of summed it up pretty good for you guys. Anthony Hernandez, he's going to keep coming forward. He eats a lot of big strikes. He's a pressure wrestler. Looks to get you back up against the cage, ultimately suffocate you, get you down to the ground, find a submission, go to decision. He'll do that to people. Pereira, wild striker, powerful. JP mentioned that as well. Sometimes these guys, they just have sneaky power, and it's not anything that they're doing differently. They just possess that, like the Alex Pereiras of the world. You just have it or you don't.
Yeah.
um Pereira seems to have it. I got a funny story real quick about Michel Pereira. In his last fight, he comes out of the tunnel like Israel Adesanya dancing, man. He's always got something going on. He's dancing, doing all kinds of moves. My dad was fully gonna bet on the guy he was fighting that night. Fully. He saw this guy dancing as he's coming out of the locker rooms, and he's like, "Yeah, you can't fucking bet against a guy that has that much confidence and is that relaxed walking to the octagon." And another thing to take note of, Pereira's had a quite a few fights inside of the Apex. He's very comfortable inside the Apex. There's not a ton of fans. I don't think he's going to think the moment's too big for him. I'm also rocking with Michel Pereira on Saturday in the main event to get it done. I think he has enough skills, especially in his hands. Let's not forget, he may be flashy, razzle dazzly. He's got a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I think he stays safe on the ground. He's been fine. He's never really seemed to get controlled in these fights. Anthony Hernandez, he just keeps coming forward. Yeah, be our guest. You're going to be a punching bag on Saturday. That's what you're going to be. I can't stand the guy. I can't stand how he fights. It's boring as hell. He's not even very skilled, if you ask me. I don't think he submits Pereira. So I'm taking Michel. I hope to see another little backflip kick to the head or
Oh yeah.
something out of Michel. He throws those things, man. He's not scared of nobody. I like it. I love the dog money in this one for sure.
100%, dude. Is that the whole card
Yeah.
together?
Once again.
Whole card together, and we got what? Three, four dogs on the whole card.
Yep.
Hey, just saying. Last week swept the bets. This week might be a profitable weekend. Just saying. Okay. We'll have to see.
1000%. I'm certainly excited for it. And then in the morning, we have Francis Ngannou also fighting in
Mm.
the PFL.
You want
That's
to give you want to give the people a little pick ski right there from you? Which one are you thinking?
man, I think I'll take Ngannou.
Yeah.
Oh my, he hits like a Prius.
A
Is he the underdog? I think he might be.
Geo Metro or something, I think is how hard he hits. If you got hit by a Geo Metro or some shit. Well, I guess at some point me and Brevin had to pick against each other because I'm taking Henan Ferreira. All right. I don't even know if that's his name. Might not be. I think he knocks Francis the fuck out. I really do. And I might bet on him.
Interesting. I think Ferreira was isn't it Ngannou who lost a child?
Is it?
I
Oh, he
believe
did.
so. And your boy was talking shit about his dead child. I don't want to do that to a
No
guy that
way.
hits like a car. So
He
I'm
was
rocking with Ngannou.
he was running his mouth about his dead kid.
Yeah, that
Oh
that's what
my
I heard.
god. I
So
didn't know that.
I think it swayed me a little bit. I don't like the guy anymore. I'm mad at
Holy
Ngannou
shit.
for leaving the UFC, but it is what it is.
Wow. Man, that took a dark turn that I did not know. Holy
The
shit.
facts are the facts. We're not sugarcoating shit for you guys. This is real stuff over here on Locked Door MMA. That concludes the card, but it doesn't conclude the show, so don't go anywhere. This is my favorite part of the episode. We're going to give you Locked Door Lock of the Night, JP's Juicer, and Brevin's Basic, which, by the way, all hit last weekend, so you know we've been locked in. JP, who do you have for your Lock of the Night?
My lock of the night. The line is terrible, unfortunately, but I think there's not a shot in the fucking dark this guy loses. I think he's murking Rob Font. I think he's jabbing up the jabber. I think he's hitting him from everywhere. Give me Kyler Phillips to beat Rob Font. What am I gonna be? 12-2 or something like that for locks overall. 12-2, baby. That sounds good.
That sounds real good there. For my pick, my lock of the night, you guys know we take you to school every week. So what do we say? We go back to school one time, not for the OVEV, but to Ass University. Give me Ass U, who happens to be the killer. Ass U is my lock of the night.
Man, Ass University. I got school spirit. That's all I'm saying. I'm a 7th-year senior. I love this university. You know?
Don't we all? All right, that concludes the lock of the night. AP, I'm not giving it to you yet. You're the juice. And I'm basic as hell. So let's dive into Brevin's basic parlay. You know what, guys? I didn't even figure this out before the show. So we're doing it live together. Let's go down through the card. First fight of the night. We've got to take the big boy. That's his nickname. Robelis Despaigne. I called him Despaigne. Who gives a damn? That guy's going to get a knockout on Saturday. Moving down the card. You guys know we have to take the lock. Asu Almabayev. Love to see it there. And then to finish it off, maybe different than what you guys thought. You guys thought I was going Kyler because I love Kyler, and I didn't get a piece of Kyler in any of my predictions because that's JP's territory. So we're going to go with Brady Hiestand. I love that guy now, and I think he gets it done over Jake Hadley. That is going to finish the 3-pick parlay currently at plus 234. So we're getting great value. Once again, I love to see it for you guys. Let's continue putting the mortgage on these bets, and we will retire rich.
The mortgage.
If only I put the mortgage on the plus 17,000 parlay, brother.
Oh my goodness.
I'd be a multi-millionaire.
We'd retire. Show would be no
I would
longer.
retire the both of us. We'd end the show. Sorry, that got me so choked up, dude. That got me so choked up. Oh, just thinking about that. Why didn't I do that?
Oh, man. We wouldn't end the show. I'm just joking. We love being here with you guys. That was funny, man. Thinking that you'd retire me, too. Holy shit. All right. Enough joshing around. Let's get serious. Start juicing these melons. Anyways, last weekend we did a main card juicer. Said, hey, we sweep main cards all the time. Let's get away from these fucking dog ass prelims. Throw the main card in. Bring the broom out. Let me clean up a little bit. Wink, 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 wink. I got the Swiffer out. Oh, we were getting active this weekend. Okay, we had everything clean. Dust the fans. Shut up. Anyways, we're doing the main card thing again for the juicer. But we're keeping one out because I said we're not betting on it, okay? I wasn't going to do it, but I have to do it. I'm taking Almabayev as the first fighter. I'm throwing Brevin's lock in there. He's just...
Let's go.
He's a lock, man. He's winning. He's a lock. He's beating Nicolau. Throw him in there. Next one, we're going Matsumoto over Brad Katona, okay? Don't like Brad Katona. Can he finish him? We'll have to see. Give us Matsumoto. We're jumping past the Elkins Pineada fight. Told you guys we're not betting on it. We're not throwing it in there. Fuck it. We'll let them do their thing. Moving up from there, we were taking Brady Hiestand over Jake Hadley. Again, I don't like Hadley being on his back. I think he stands better. Next one, Sumudaerji is either going to sleep or getting choked out. So I guess either way, he's going to sleep, okay? Give me Charles Johnson over Sumudaerji. Kyler Phillips, my lock. Throw him in there. He's locked for a reason. He's winning. Throw him in there. In the main event, dog money. Really gonna, the icing on the cake on this juice.
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
Oh my, you can just taste it. Just have a taste of the glory. See what it tastes like.
Oh
Okay?
my gosh.
Throw Michelle Pereira in there at dog money. 6 legs. We'll throw the odds up for you. And if you want to throw the mortgage on it, I'm just saying it hit last week. So.
It did hit last week. All three of those hit last week, and the plus 17,000 parlay that we hit last week. Absolutely dialed in here at Locked Door MMA. Once again, thank you for tuning in for another episode. I think we're getting up there close to like 30 episodes now. So it's been awesome being here with you guys. We appreciate the support week in and week out. Continue smashing the like button, leaving comments with your guys' thoughts, opinions. If you think that you have a fight prediction that you want to call, leave that in the comment before the fight's on Saturday. We'll shout you out. I threw the picture with Max Fat Stacks and Sugar Sean O'Malley on the screen for you guys in the
Yeah.
recap video. If you guys have cool stories, pictures to share, send them over to me. We'll shout you out in the episode as well. But thank you. As always, we appreciate the support. Let's continue to build this community up past 100 subscribers. That would be amazing. And then we'll shoot for 500 from there. We appreciate you guys, JP. I'll hand it over to you.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah. Like you're saying, leave a like, leave a comment. Make sure you're subbed. Okay. The YouTube algorithm clipped us early. We were sitting there doing the chicken dance, all wobbly. Hey, that's all right. Went back to the corner, sat down, got some water. Into the championship rounds. We might sneak a win out against this YouTube algorithm. No more fucking 10-8s, pal. Okay? We're coming for you, Tube.
Sal's on the judges' scorecards, bro.
Fucking Sal. We're getting me and Sal in there. Main event, next fucking fight card. Throw it on 308. I don't care. I'll beat the shit out of Sal. All right?
I'll take Junior Tafa.
Co-main and main. Right there. That'll do more pay-per-view buys than Jake Paul's last fucking fight. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Yeah. Another weekend. Another fight card. 308 next weekend. That one's going to be a good one. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby. Peace.